I remember the feeling of being at school and being absolutely terrified when my teacher was telling me exam season was just around the corner. Whether it's GCSEs or A levels or just mock exams, they never really get less stressful as time goes by. And I was being told to revise. But what I didn't know was how to actually revise. I knew I had to do loads of work and it was going to be really tough, but no one was giving me the tools that I needed to actually do it. Because the truth is, revision is actually a really specific and organised process that sometimes isn't taught the best at school. So fast forward a few years and I'm a science teacher in a secondary school, and I'm finding the students that I'm teaching have exactly the same problem that I was having as a student. At all levels, there didn't seem to be any lessons specifically telling you how you should be revising. So this is exactly what this course is meant to be for. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be making a comprehensive course that is going to let you know how you should be revising. And I'm going to be giving you tips, tricks, and advice so you can be applying these tools to any subject you're doing, whether it's GCSE, whether it's A level, whether it's an art subject, whether it's science, whatever. Now, I was a science teacher, so a lot of the things that I'm going to be telling you are based around science knowledge. But again, I'm going to make the advice generic enough so you can apply it to any area you want to. So over the course, we're going to be looking at things like how to make a revision schedule, how to actually use revision tools like mind maps and cue cards and past papers, because these things are really often not used properly. We're going to be looking at how to deal with exam stress. We're going to be looking at how to manage exam stress. And we're going to be looking at how to manage your time most effectively so you don't get in that revision rut that it's so easy to get into. So the main aim of the course is to boost your grades with less time spent on revision because the time you're spending is more effective. So on episode 1, we're going to be looking at targeted revision. Now, targeted revision is something that is really important that barely any of my students were doing, and quite frankly, I haven't been doing throughout my time studying, including at university. And if I'd known it, it would have really helped. And it's something that really helped my students as well as my tutees, so I'm going to share it with you now. And it seems really simple, but if you don't do it, you're not going to be targeting the right bits of your revision. So one massive issue that I find I had myself in revision is a lack of planning. And this is what targeted revision is about. Because if you're not going to plan what you're doing, you're not going to be targeting those main areas that you need to do. And then sometimes you're going to be going over things that you already know, or you're going to just miss things out completely. So this really easy technique is going to make sure that you're targeting the right areas at the right time. So have a look at this. So all you need to do for targeted revision is have a green, a red or a pinkish, and a yellow highlighter. Classic traffic light tool. And then I just want you to go to your content page of your revision guide or your textbook or whatever. This is a combined science GCSE revision guide, but again, this applies to pretty much any subject you're going to be studying at school. Now what you have is a list of topics throughout the course. And all you need to do with targeted revision is go through each line and ask yourself at a high level, do I know this? Or how well do I know this? If I know it really well, I'm going to use green. If I know it kind of well, I'm going to use yellow. And if I don't feel like I know it at all, I'm going to use this pink one. So let's go through firstly cell biology. Now I'm looking at cells, microscopes, and more on microscopes. Now I remember that pretty freshly from when my teacher was talking about it, so I'm just going to give that a green there. It's something I'm going to come back to, but I'm pretty confident on it for now. But cell differentiation and specialization, now this is something I remember struggling with. So I'm going to give it a red for now. Also, chromosomes and mitosis, really specific, really nitty-gritty topic. So also going to give that a red/pink. Next up, stem cell diffusion osmosis. Not too bad on that at all. I think I could brush up on it. I'm just going to do a yellow traffic light like this. Now what you should have by the end of this is your entire contents page highlighted green, red and yellow. And the reason this is so important is because you now have the ability to prioritize your revision. Because I know that cell differentiation and chromosomes and mitosis are a weak point for me, I want to start revising them now, because that means by the time the exam comes around, I'm going to know it better. Whereas the greens, I'm going to come to later because I feel confident in them. I'm definitely going to check that I'm confident in them later, but I'm probably going to have to spend less time doing so. Now this can really nicely feed in to your revision schedule, which is something that we're going to be looking at in a later video as well. But if you're doing this before you start revising for all your topics, you're going to be 95% more organized than most of your classmates. So that's episode 1 of Beyond the Blackboard's revision course. I hope it is useful. As I say, this is a really basic start, but it's really useful. In the next couple of videos, we're going to be looking at revision tools and how to actually use them. This is things like mind maps and cue cards and past papers, things that I'm sure you've heard of, but actually really often they're not used effectively. So you're going to be spending more time on the revision than you need to. If you find this video useful, please do like and subscribe to the channel, and also comment below if there's any other topics that you want to cover. I'm going to be making sure to answer to every single one of your comments. So please, if you've got any questions around revision, just let me know and I'd be happy to help. Until next time, thanks a lot.